What's up? And welcome back to the channel. This was sent to me by a gentleman named Eddie, and he's the founder of Minidisc Forever. He's on Instagram. I think he's on Facebook. I've seen his YouTube page. I'm not sure how active it is. He is a fellow Minidisc enthusiast and Minidisc collector. This is one of his most recent ambitious projects. Now, I just want to kind of show you what a premium looking Minidisc would look like, you know. And that's not even the most premium that Sony's ever came out with. This here is Sony's most premium disc, if you want to call it premium. This was Sony's only metal mini disc, the Minidisc 2000. So these two discs are like Sony's last premium mini disc, I'd say. Interesting enough, I don't believe that this is fully metal. So this front is metal, but this back is not. Other than that, I think the disc has maybe dual layer coating of some sort. But other than that, this is not entirely made out of metal, which leads me to this package. I guess I'll just open it like that. Okay. Cool. Here it is. The billet aluminum Minidisc blue number 3. Okay. Oh, look at all these parts. I'll put this aside. Put these guys aside. Made in Canada with imported materials. US, EU. These are all SKUs. So this here, wow. This is awesome. So look, he gave, wow, I just can't. This is really exciting for me, actually. He has supplied several shutters. So he redesigned these and made them all from scratch. These are all new parts, newly manufactured parts. And he paired with, I think, Minidisc Me. I forgot what the cases were. I'm gonna have to bring up the company that made this case. But he also went and purchased new Minidisc cases just to house this disc. Oh, got that. Wow, holy moly. That's awesome. That's gorgeous. Wow. So he's got an extra screwdriver, some screws. These are also newly manufactured pieces that go inside the actual disc, because I don't know if you decide to swap parts or swap colors, or I don't know if you miss one. It's just very kind of him to supply all of these extra parts, all of these extra shutters, and time for the actual disc. Whoa. Wow, this is beefy. Wow, look at that. This is cool, man. This is the heaviest mini disc I've ever held. And it feels really nice. Holy moly. Wow. Compare the two. Yeah, I think he made 100, right? I need a sip of my coffee. All right, these shutters. I could put these shutters onto a disc if I wanted to. I could take like an old one out. I could put this one in. This just opens up options. Jeez, Lamont. Eddie, you really outdid yourself. Eddie Chan, yeah, Minidisc Forever. There it is. Eddie Chan Minidisc _ forever. Number 3. Now we have to weigh it. Boop, boop, boop. I'll line it up for my OCD's sake. I'm gonna get the scale. So an ES, 80-minute ES is 19.7. What do we got for the all-metal mini disc here? 19.4. Interesting. This one is lighter than the ES, and it's all metal. It's like magnesium something or other. And then for the aluminum, all aluminum disc, 35.1. 35.1. That is phenomenal. That is like 3 times the amount of this. Okay, maybe not, but still. This thing's beefy. All right, now we got to, I know he did his tests before he shipped this one out. I just want to put it in a player. Oh wait, open this disc up really fast. Open it. Oh yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. Wow. Brilliant. All right, let me get the player. Okay. All right, we got the player. Goes right in. I'm just nervous about putting it all in, but it looks low battery. Well, that doesn't really help me. Back with an alternative plan. Yeah, look at that. He's got music on here too. Plug this in. So we got this plugged in, and then now we'll just hit play. It works. Let me unplug that. Very cool. Oh, it's like the perfect song to freaking put on here. That's very cool. Let me just put this away. Well, that's the aluminum billet mini disc created by Eddie Chan from Minidisc _ forever. And if you're interested in getting one, right now it's too late to order one, but just follow Eddie and he might have another Kickstarter, who knows. This is a really cool project. I'm very happy to be an owner of one of these. I don't know if you guys know, but Sony killed the format this year. They're not going to be producing any more new ones, but that doesn't mean that the format is dead, and that doesn't mean that our passion for it is dead. In fact, I'd like to hope that our drive is stronger than it was before. And I'd like to see more projects like this. It may not be an entirely new Minidisc unit because I know licenses and all that stuff that that Sony owns, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to distribute that out to the general public. But I believe this is a step forward into something that's really cool, potentially even bigger than this. Good job, Eddie, and I look forward to the next projects you're coming out with. Keep staying ambitious, man. Okay, one last thing before I go. I just want to go back to these parts right here. These are not cheap to produce, okay? Just in general, making small parts, whether it's aluminum or plastic. Injection mold, the injection molding process is not a cheap process. It is not easy. It takes a lot of engineering, it takes a lot of resources. These are not 3D printed parts. They're all individually molded with high temperature plastic through the injection molding process. When you order a part, let's say you just ordered this specific part, you have to make the negative, all right? You have to design the mold, and you have to machine the mold out of metal, and then you have to squeeze hot, basically press hot plastic into that mold, and then let it cool. From what I've understood, from my experience in fabrication and all that stuff, is you can't just order one part. You have to order by like a minimum. For example, like 1,000 parts. And you have to pay for that 1,000 parts. Another example is I designed this, it's called a Bates collar or whatever. It's a cable tie down where you put like shoestring around it, and then you tie the cable up and whatever. I 3D printed the design, I got the part, tested it out, I printed it out, and then now I wanted to get like an injection molded part. With my research, I hit up people I knew in Thailand. The minimum for that part I had to order was 5,000 pieces, which was basically 5,000 bucks. All I really wanted was like 500 pieces. So, you know, either you have the front money to go ahead and order the 5,000 parts, or you go ahead and start a Kickstarter. And that's what Eddie did. And so with Eddie's Kickstarter campaign, I'm pretty sure he put in his own money first. He was hoping to get kind of like meet in the middle. I don't know what his process was, but either way, the Kickstarter helped him produce these. Now, these are plastic, and this is aluminum. So, you know, with aluminum, you gotta be, in this case, you gotta cut it out, and then you have to press it and fold it. And that's what happened. And, you know, that's what the case is with these guys. Yeah, very not affordable to do. If you were one of those people that complained about how expensive this custom all metal disc is, it costs a lot of money to produce things like this. He probably didn't want to order 1,000 parts. Maybe he did, who knows? Maybe that's why he had to supply so much, you know, because he didn't want to deal with any of it. So he had to count. I'm sure he did. He couldn't just order like 5. It's not a rant, it's just an explanation of why things cost the way they do. From what I gather, Eddie wasn't trying to profit out of this project. He just is a very passionate individual. I salute to that. I'm a fellow artist. I understand creating and making stuff and just the itch to make stuff and produce. Sometimes you gotta produce stuff that nobody will ever see, but you just gotta keep producing. And he's one of the very fortunate people that successfully produced, from scratch, a Minidisc. Anyway, thanks for hanging out.